Hello, viewers. Tonight, I would like to talk about something very interesting that I found. That happened to be in the descriptions of many of the Ministry of the Lamb's videos, that is to say, Layla Malcook's channel. Alright? Layla put beneath her videos that it is not permitted to reproduce, transfer, distribute, store, or make available to third parties in whole or in part any content of the Ministry of the Lamb channel, basically from any social media platform and our website without the prior written consent of the Ministry of the Lamb. It's all copyrighted. Now you have to think about the logic of this. Can we imagine any of the apostles copyrighting their words and saying, "Oh, I'm Paul and my letters are copyrighted. If you are going to reproduce my letters, you had better have a copyright or else we will take you to court." Now, some of you may not understand the significance of this. Many YouTube channels that are worldly, that have nothing to do with religion at all, do not do this. Of course, there are even Hindu and yoga channels that will, are not as strict as this, in which they literally threaten you in the description. And know well that this is Layla Malcook, who is threatening her viewers, this Bosnian woman who has become quite popular in the Christian community here on YouTube. Now, this is very interesting because this has implications regarding fair use. This has implications regarding basically how we can critique her, criticize her, and the like. Now, with a person like this, for some reason, I suppose I was the best suited to engage in a critique of her, and perhaps in a way that she did not expect, because I really do not know how long she has sort of had this up on her videos. When I engage in my criticism videos, my commentary videos, in which I sort of talk about what she has said or what she has taught or what she is advocating for and promoting, what I do is I play the audio of the video, usually maybe as an MP3 file. In some cases I do that, or I just have the video saved and I just play the audio. Alright? This is what I do. So basically, she is saying if you even transfer or distribute even part of my content, you basically, let us be honest, she wants to take people to court over her content. Now you have to remember, this is a so-called Christian who wants to spread the gospel, who not too long ago apparently is talking about her testimony, and is just as in the case of Ravinder Rayat, another woman who had talked about her testimony, and for whatever reason, when she was criticized, she acted quite differently because her lifestyle did not reflect what she basically had promoted. And then in this way, and of course you have to remember, she had said something very strange in one of her videos, this Layla, in which she said, not every Christian should get on social media. If you get on social media, maybe you should not be on social media. Maybe you should leave this to different people who have more authority than you do. That is basically to paraphrase what she had said. Now, I have to thank a user who came on my channel and left a comment of appreciation for one of the videos I had made. Those videos were quite rough. They were not made very well, so to speak, in sooth. But I had made them because I had watched some of Layla Malcook's videos, and I thought she was an interesting woman, so to speak. I thought, this woman, she makes sense. A lot of the things she says makes sense. I sort of had wondered, what exactly is she sort of teaching? And I have to also say this, gameplay, or rather, commentary gameplay has really helped me a lot. Having a person to basically use a spare channel for you and sort of, put your gameplay on that channel so that you can use it, or you can download it or whatnot. If you have friends, it's a lot easier to sort of deal with this in terms of just having some commentary gameplay in the background that you can use. So basically, I had decided, and actually this is more of a violent game, and in sooth I'm not going to really play this on a game really about Christian matters, so actually most of the gameplay footage on here is violent, to be honest, but let me see if I can get one that seems a little less serious, because I only have one little non-violent piece of non-violent gameplay footage, but it really doesn't matter. Some people like the gameplay footage because, as I'm talking in the background, basically you have something to look at. Anyhow, I had did my videos about Layla Malcook, and those videos were videos I was very careful not to use her copyright content, because that's just something I've gotten used to. And this can be sort of a recommendation to those of you who do videos on people and you do not want to get involved in any copyright disputes. Basically, play the audio, give your commentary. Do not play the video straight through. Just let the audio play while you play gameplay footage in the background. Therefore, what will be happening is you will have gameplay footage in the background, and you will have the audio, and everyone can hear, the person talking, and you can stop it and pause the video or the MP3, and you can talk and sort of commentate on what you are hearing, and you can just, basically you will be in a good situation where basically you are not going to abuse copyright. Furthermore, if you want to stop the video, for example, let's say I want to see her face at some different point to see what expression is on her face when she's saying something. And I can sort of backtrack and go to a certain point of the video and just click on it. Okay? So I can easily do that. This woman is not taking into account fair use. She is not taking fair use into account at all. Look at this. A legal doctrine that promotes freedom of expression by permitting the unlicensed use of copyrighted works in certain circumstances. Now, if you do not know, a good deal of that has to do with commentary, criticism, news reporting, all of those types of things. Layla Malcook decided to make a really big threat, and she decided to say, my works are copyrighted. You cannot do any of these things. Now, she is not outright saying that she is going to sue you if you use her content, but that is what she is saying. And I have to say, that seems so godly. What was that particular verse in the Bible that said the gospel is freely given? Gospel is freely given, or something like that. Something you're not supposed to charge for. You're not supposed to. Okay, there's something like that in our Bibles. I don't know. Yes, freely you receive, freely you give, basically. So that would be Matthew 10:8. Okay, let me see this. I usually used to, freely ye have received, freely give. Now let us think about this concept, this idea. Now obviously the gospel is meant to be spread for free, just like the healings and the prayers and everything else that Christians do. The gospel, like anything else, is freely given. Now, we have received no instruction whatsoever to how should it be said, to literally copyright our work and say, if you commentate on my work, if you say something about it, actually, yeah, you do not have consent. You're not permitted to transfer any of my work, distribute it. Well, is this not the gospel? Or we have to go to the copyrighted YouTube ministry of Layla Malcook. All right? Oh my. Peradventure, it should be called the Ministry of the Wolf. The Ministry of the Wolf. Actually, peradventure, the name of this video will be the Ministry of the Wolf. And she will probably not like that very much, but in sooth, I think a point needs to be proven. I think a point needs to be proven. I really do not like this. Some people will say, oh, this is just business. This is how business is done. This is how business should be done. Okay. So she is saying, oh, you can't distribute, transfer, even any part of our website, any part of our social media, which is very interesting. So we can go to her website right here. I suppose if a person go off to her website, you will also, you will be in a bad situation because she can sue you if you go there. She's going to sue you if you go there. She's going to sue you if you go there. Okay? So if we come here, I mean, well, I suppose this is not transferring and distributing, but I'm just going on the website. Which, this is ridiculous. Because this website is a poor website. The only thing you see is a verse, a statement of faith. She says the statement of faith is so important. She saith that, well, if you have a YouTube channel, you had better have a statement of faith and you had better do things the way I do it. It cannot be a casual YouTube channel where every video is not about, a ministry. But the way her sort of organization is run, it is businesslike. And I said that in one of my videos. I said the way she does things, it seems really businesslike. So basically she gives her website and she says, follow us on Facebook. Don't give us unnecessary private messages asking for personal details, because after all, everything has to be businesslike. She's not sort of operating on her social media in a very casual fashion. Everything is businesslike. If you feel free to sow and donate to this, no thank thee. No thank thee. I think I will not donate to your ministry at all. At all. No, I'd rather give it to charity, my family, anyone else but you. To be honest, not necessarily anyone else but you, but just not you. Because, I mean, you're literally copyrighting your content when we're supposed to give the gospel freely. You think that this is something intelligent from a business perspective, but you really do not know how this looks. And if other Christians do this too, I will give you the same criticism. If you're YouTubers and you're using YouTube, which has been made, which at very first, when it was first created, it was an amateur platform. This was not some business website. Let me take a breath. Anyhow, YouTube was not some business website. It was a website that people just casually posted videos on. And to have Christians copyrighting works, and this is also because I believe they do not want to be criticized. Why else would they do that? Who else, for whatever reason, would you not want people to spread your videos? Because after all, let us say someone just decides to spread the video, say, I want to put that video on my channel to spread its reach. Everyone knows Layla Malcook is speaking, or maybe they do not. But let us say someone just wants to share and mirror the video, and after all, you're a good Christian, you don't care because you want the word to spread. If what you're saying is so good, you do not care if people criticize it, commentate on it, or spread it. The very fact that you have Christians who are supposed to be giving, saying, no, I have to run my YouTube channel like a business, and you get donations, everything that you have is due to the people. You are not some individual who is producing, how should it be said, content just of your own. If it is not for the Christians who listen to you, you would have nothing. And for a worldly person who is who's doing worldly business, that makes a good deal of sense. But for a Christian to say everything on my video, on my YouTube channel, on my social media platform and my website is copyrighted, you have to get written consent from me, to do something. And this person is not talking about fair use. They're not talking about the fact that we do not need consent. What happens oftentimes for YouTubers is that in order for them to pursue any legal action against a person, let me explain. First, they copyright strike you. You do not really have to abide, and what has to happen is that eventually YouTube has to basically allow you to go to court with that person. This woman is giving such a threat as to say she will go to court against you. This Christian will go to court against you and derive a monetary punishment. She will basically punish you monetarily or by legal processes. She is willing to do that. She is willing to use the law against you for, it's her copyright material. She does not want you to criticize her. She does not want you to commentate about her at all. But that is fine, because you see, the interesting thing is we really do not need to actually play her video in entirety or even abide by what she says. We can just play audio and play some commentary game to play in the background, which is exactly what I have been doing. And I think, to be honest, that has still been a surprise to her. She probably did not think that someone would be basically brazen enough to do a whole commentary video about her and use video game gameplay in the background while they're talking. And that is what I did. Let me see. Yes, that volume is off. Oftentimes I do download these, but then I delete them. I have a limited amount of space on my computer. I can always use flash drives, but I only have about 4 of them right now. Alright? But anyhow, I just have to say that I really did not realize. But yes, there was a person on my YouTube channel. He gave me a comment. And he basically gave me a compliment. He was talking about how he watched the video. He used to watch Layla's channel too. And he started to question some things about what she was teaching. And I think a lot of people are, and they're looking for other people's opinions, and just average people who just say something about it. I do not like this whole copyright my content thing. If you even respond to it or play any part of it, because she says in whole or in part, you need written permission. This is YouTube. This is an amateur platform where people will often take the chances and say, I will play your content anyway. If you want to take me to court, do it. Let's see if you're going to put your money where your mouth is. For me, I have no such problem because I just play the audio. I make that content completely transformative. My videos about her have been such, and I think they are the only real videos in which she's received any criticism on this platform. I really do not think that anyone else has. But in my last video, where I said that she is really businesslike, there's something about her that seems really, how should I say, not so very straightforward, but almost fake. Almost as though she cannot really have that sort of connection with the viewer on a sort of personal level. There's always a wall where it seems like, hey, I have a copyright here. If you use any of my content, we are giving you a threat. That is not very welcoming at all. And I think about this, if you're spreading the gospel, what fear do you have to have of people literally, playing your content on video, responding to you? Freely give. Freely ye have received, freely give. Now this is talking about heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. But of course, we also spread the gospel. And as far as I know, none of the apostles or none of the followers of Jesus Christ, none of the history of the early church that we have any sort of any sort of, how should I say, history of anyone saying, well, we are going to give out the teachings of God, but with one caveat. Yeah, we are going to need to copyright that, and then say, you just so happen to use some of my content. This is not good. And people could say it's a new day and age, but still, this is YouTube, and many people allow other people to commentate and respond to their content. This is a big thing here. On YouTube, when you say you have to have written permission to take even a little bit of my content or respond to, in other words, the idea used to be if you played 10% of the video, that was fine. Up to 10%. She is saying if you play any part of her video, that's it. That's it. If you play any part of my video, I will basically sue you. What else are we supposed to take from this? What else are we supposed to take from this, Layla? But you see, I'm too smart for this. I'm too smart for this. Miss Layla Malcock, or whatever, however you pronounce that. Anyhow, I'm too smart for that. If I want to criticize her, if I want to do a commentary video and talk about what she is talking about and what she is teaching, I do it. And apparently some people watch it. So I think that it is very important that we as commentators and YouTubers and just average people, because Miss Layla said in one of her videos in which she was wearing red, she said that, well, if you're a Christian and you think you should get on social media, maybe you should not. Maybe you should let other people speak for Christians. You should not do that. All right? And watch that video and see how she speaks about basically, when she basically states that thing, she says Christians, not all Christians should go on social media, which the truth is, it is not her decision. It is up to us. She cannot impose that demand upon anyone, especially considering how she really operates. What this shows us is how she operates. Now, you have to understand that a video can have a full, decent description. This is not a decent description. Instead of a description of the video, what she has here is a threat. What she has here is a threat to tell you, I'm not really going to describe the video for you or write anything substantial, but what I am going to do is threaten you. Basically, if you reproduce my content, this is illegal. Well, you have to take a person to court. That has to be, there has to be a real decision as if to their usage. Is it fair use or is it not fair use? This woman is literally copywriting her words. All right? What if, I just have to say this. And this is not just for YouTube. This is for anyone who wants to share anything that she says. She has copyrighted it. Is this so very Christian? This is pathetic. And as far as I know, in this video or another video, she's talking about how she's blessed with a house, with a new house or something like that. It's hard for me to remember, but something like that. And I just think, my goodness, how worldly, how unspiritual. Let us get to the business of spirituality, of true Christianity. All of this talk about, my works are copyrighted, don't use it. We could take you to court. We're not saying we're going to sue you, but we have money and we can do it. Wow. These people are flaunting their wealth if they're willing to give you a legal threat. They're flaunting their wealth if they're willing to give you a legal threat. And not only that this is the same woman who is talking about, how poor Africans are in the cobalt mines, which bless their souls. The Lord is watching the horrors that happen in those cobalt mines for the electric cars. But I think about you talk about poverty on that level, but at the same time here you are trying to safeguard your intellectual property that is the gospel, your teachings. You're literally copywriting it and you're threatening people. You could have a description about your video where you say, hey, let me tell you about this wonderful video I made today on March the 3rd, 2024. But instead, hey, if you produce, transfer, distribute, store, or make she is even saying if you store this, how would you know? This is not even a legal something that she can really legally enforce. This is some made up idea that she has that somehow she can punish you for storing something. This is funny. But you see, I have been smart about this the whole time, because I never play her full video. What I do very simply is that I play audio and then I play gameplay footage in the background. But honestly, she came to the wrong platform if she thinks that she can just sort of bully people. Because people on commentary channels really do not. Yeah, you have to do a bit better than that. Let me put it that way. You have to do a bit better than that. You have to do a lot better than that. You really do. Because we are not foolish enough to not know that you have to take that all the way to court. And we can literally stand our ground in regard to fair use. And in order to pursue any sort of legal action further, you have to take that outside of YouTube. So it would not just end in the copyright strike. No, you have to take that all the way to court. So who knows if she is bluffing? Excuse me. But I would just say that, no, this woman, that certainly does not seem so very kindly, generous, or Christian. All right? Freely you receive, freely you give. If you give healing and prayer freely, you give the gospel freely. You want people to hear it. Why are you copywriting, content and saying, if you even use part of my video, you're not permitted and you need to get written consent from me. How utterly terrible, to be honest. But anyhow, I just wanted to talk about that. That was very interesting to me. I thought that was just scandalous. And I just decided, I just want to talk about this. This seems really interesting. What exactly does she intend to do if someone really goes through the effort of doing a commentary or criticism video about her, or just, saying something, about her video and just maybe playing it or something like that? But honestly, it really is pathetic. A Christian being worldly, a Christian resorting to the courts like this. This is pathetic. That is not a spiritual person. That is a worldly person. All right? You see, I think that she got scared when I did a few criticism videos about her. And they were small criticism videos. In other words, I did not receive a great many views, but I did tag her name in the video, so she knew that I did them. So I think I honestly will be titling this video Ministry of the Wolf. And I think for people like that, they do not want to be criticized. A lot of her ideas, they are the type of ideas you debate about. She is saying Jerusalem is in Africa, Israel is in Africa, Judah is in Africa. There's just different locations that she is talking about. Things like that people will want to talk about, people will want to debate about, whether you agree with her or you do not agree with her. People will want to talk about what she presents. But instead of sort of being proud about what she has talked about and sort of confident in her positions, she is willing to curtail any criticism at all by just simply saying, well, all of my works are copyrighted. Oh, you think you're going to do a video about me? No, you are not going to do a video about me. My videos are copyrighted. Do you want to go to court? I have lawyers. Do you know who I am? I'm Leila Malcock. You think you can just do a commentary video about me? No. So I just simply have to say, there is something that feels wrong about this. There is. YouTube as a platform has been a very casual platform, and we have Christians trying to act like professional Christians. And that was a term I created a long time ago during my time of criticizing, sort of critiquing some Christian influences. I said, in this day and age, we have professional Christians. They're professional Christians. If you say anything they don't like, they will sue you. They will try to take you to court. They will say, you cannot comment on what I say. You cannot sort of do commentary videos about me because I copyrighted everything. I'm going to fight against you. We cannot have a debate. This is not a matter of debate. You know, God has sent me on a mission and I have to do it. And you are just in the way. I would say that is a very ungodly spirit, and I can clearly see it. But honestly, I will be probably doing another video about her at some point. I had sort of hesitated doing this one because I have been dealing with some personal things in my life. But nonetheless, a fellow had left me a comment and he had appreciated the video, so I thought, let me see what Layla Malcook has been doing, because basically I have been quite busy, to be honest. And so I just thought, well, let me take a look and see what she's doing. And I happened to see this, which I did not see before. In other words, it is on other videos, take this in mind. But I had never noticed this. And when I am looking at it, it maketh my heart to feel somewhat uneasy. When I look at it, I think, wow, copyright for the ministry of the Lamb. Think about that. The ministry of the Lamb has a copyright. And I really had a feeling. I said, something about her and the way she conducts herself seems really businesslike. And that is one of the things that has really disgusted me about many so-called Christians, because I would say there are very few true Christians. There are very few blessed peacemakers. There are very few who will take up their cross and follow the Lord. There are very few who will not take the red pottage as Esau did, which is the pottage of this world, the lucre, the filthy lucre of this world, the filthy riches of this world, and say, this is enough for me, this is enough to sustain me. Why would any spiritual person need to copyright their teachings? These are teachings of the Lord. These are teachings of Jesus Christ. These are teachings that people should receive freely, and they should not have to worry about if they spread them or if they store them. You see, in other words, let's say you want to store this, because it does say store. Let's say you want to store this teaching for later. You want to save it on your computer. Oh, that is illegal. You have to have written consent to store anything, any of my videos. Let us say I'm just a person that listens to Layla Malcook, and I decide I want to store this on my computer because it's such a great message, and I want to listen and hear her speak to give me a sort of, inspiration to continue through the day or to learn more or something like that, or she did some type of teaching that I really care about. Let's say you did that. According to her, it is not permitted to even store it. Think about that. This woman is serious. She would not have put this here if she were not serious. This woman is willing to take you to court, apparently, or else this is a bluff. Take in mind, this is what she does. So she's asking you to donate to her. How many of you listening to this video now are going to do it? All right? So I just have to basically say this. This is very sad and disappointing, but what can one expect? Not all of us are Christians. Not all of us are sheep. Some people are goats, and they want money. They want the red pottage. They are not Israel, but they are Edom. And they want to get their red pottage. They want to get the red pottage of this world. They want to be of the nations and not of God. Are we of God? Are we of God, or are we of the nations? Are we here to get what we can in the world? Or are we here to get the things of heaven, to receive the inheritance of the Lord? If this is the gospel you're sharing, why do you need to copyright it? Even the King James Bible is not copyrighted. But Layla Malcook's work is copyrighted. We have to understand the gravity of this, or I am saying it is important to understand the gravity of her doing that. And I imagine not many people read it, but this here is in particular to threaten people and to say, do not make a criticism video about me. Do not do it. I will take you to court. Do not think I do not have the money. And it makes plenty of sense. You have 65,000 subscribers, over 65,000 subscribers. You have a ministry website that looks pretty fancy. You have moving graphics and, all of this. And she changed this picture up here as far as I know. And I do have that saved. She put a pale girl here, but I think before it was another picture. But, she sort of does some little arbitrary changes here. But anyhow, okay. But basically, listen. Anyone who's copywriting stuff, I look at that and I think, wait. This is not just anything. This is the gospel. Is this not the gospel? Why are you copywriting it? Why are you threatening people? Am I the only person that thinks that is a bit strange? Am I the only person that thinks that is a bit strange? So this video, just for this, because I'd seen this not too long ago, I said, I want to do a video about this. This video may very well be titled Ministry of the Wolf. Ministry of the Wolf. Or Ministry of the Goat or something. To be honest. I suppose since you're fleecing the sheep in a sense, because you're literally saying, hey, my words are copyrighted, these words that are apparently supposed to be the Christian motivation, worshiping Christianity, how dare you even claim that you can sell Christianity and sort of copyright it? Now, she's not necessarily selling it, but she's doing something almost basically just as bad. When you're copywriting a teaching, it's just like if someone said, I'm going to copyright Derek Prince's teaching, which I do not really agree with most of the things that Derek Prince teaches, especially that sort of even if you say the word here on YouTube, the whole Israeli thing. He was pro-Israeli. All right? I am not, so I do not really agree with a good deal of that whole aspect of his teaching, but nonetheless, he gave a good deal of valuable teachings. And so, Derek Prince, his works are not copyrighted. There are plenty of people whose works are not copyrighted. They're in the Christian community. Their works are shared around. They're stored. They're really valued, whether you agree with those people or not. Layla Malkuk is one of those people who makes a point of telling you, you cannot, hey, don't do anything for my works, don't even store them. Not just share, but even store. Let's say you stored her work just to listen to it again. You cannot even do that. She is saying she will use legal action. This is a threat. Okay. Anyhow, I think some of you should know that, but furthermore, it is quite sad, but it is, hey, there are people like this. There are people like this. Maybe they will repent of it, maybe they will not. But it is interesting. She wants to go to court over that stuff like that, but you see, the way I do my criticism videos is different. Because I really do not, you cannot say that my content is not transformative because I always just play audio and then you're seeing gameplay videos as I talk and I pause it throughout. So I have no such problem. But anyhow, viewers, I just had to tell you this. I just had to tell you about that. I think that is quite shameful. You may disagree, you may not agree, but I personally think it's shameful. Anyhow, viewers, may you be blessed and farewell.